Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. We are welcoming Kara Vogt from Fathers, and we'll get into exactly what Fathers stands for. Good morning, Kara.
Good morning, Susie. Thank you for having me on the program again. I always appreciate the support of WNPQ for our efforts against heroin in Stark County.
Thank you, and it's always great to see you and appreciate you sharing your personal story and why you do what you do. Fathers, first of all, is an acronym. Tell us what that stands for.
It stands for Families Against the Heroin Epidemic, Rally in Stark. Had I known we were going to be around this long, I probably would have gone for something shorter, maybe like Dad's, but we're stuck with it now. It says it all if you can get through it.
This will be your fourth annual
This is
motorcycle
our
run.
fourth annual. We started this event back in 2015, and it gets a little bigger every year.
Do you see right now the way that the community has come together with the opioid crisis, and we see so many teens struggling with life issues? Do you see more support for what you've been doing? Are you part of that larger conversation? Do you get invited to those meetings?
We get invited to a lot of places. Stark County in general has done just a tremendous job of stepping up to this problem. We have so many treatment providers that have expanded their programs and their resources, and it's just phenomenal how much more support, both for families, for recovery, for addicts, for treatment, is available in Stark County now than it was 3 years ago.
And you're a collaboration, right? I see that you work with a couple of different organizations.
Yeah, we collaborate with ComQuest Services. They are our umbrella 501c3. We also work very closely with the Stark County Sheriff's Department. And for our kids program, we have some partnerships with the Stark Parks and Central Stark YMCA associations.
So neat. Well, this is personal for you. Can we talk about that? How did your
Absolutely.
family become such advocates for helping young people in this area?
We do have a child who struggles with heroin addiction. At the moment, we're very grateful that he is doing well.
Yes.
But we have been on the roller coaster since 2013. Though it's up and down. It's good one day, it's bad the next. But
How old was he when this became an issue in your own family?
he would have been 22.
Okay.
22 when we
So
found out that.
past high school, past college.
Well, there were a lot of warning signs prior to age 22 that we just really missed.
What were those to help other parents?
There were issues with school. School is always a nightmare for our child. He did not like it, did not do well. There for a while was not attending very well. There were some things that we put down as kind of normal adolescent behaviors, which later turned out to have been some initial dabbling in drugs, changes in sleep patterns, a lot of anger issues, moodiness, complaining about not being happy.
Kara, I think the trouble with this, the trickiness about this, is that what you're describing is pretty much a teenage boy.
It does pretty much sound like adolescence, doesn't it?
It does. And, I know we read Dr. Dobson, and he says, just get them through it. And you kind of feel like, phew, okay, we did that. And, you are involved parents, have always been. I think we don't want to terrify other parents out there hearing, oh my gosh, my son is moody, my son isn't crazy about school. What can we say encouraging to that person? How do you approach the subject to ask them, is there something I don't know that's going on with you?
Well, I think you probably, when you hear these things, it's probably a good idea to at least open the door to conversation with your child. rather than just assume that it's hormones or
Right.
adolescence and it'll all blow over in its own time.
Well, I think we want to just be able to
we would
assume.
like to, yes. Yes.
It'd be easier if it was easy.
Exactly.
Did your son have an outlet, sports, something that maybe motorcycles that he liked to kind of get all that out of his system?
No, and I think that was part of some of the basis of some issues that he's had with self-esteem was that he was not a joiner. He wasn't athletic, but he didn't really wasn't into exploring any of the other activities that are available through school.
Right, there's lots more.
Which is where I found a lot of my niches. I discovered very early on that I was going to be a band geek, and I was okay with that. But he didn't involve himself in those types of things. He liked to spend a lot of time on the computer. So there really probably was not really a good outlet for him.
So this is what he found.
This is what
became
he
his outlet.
found. Yes.
So Families Against the Heroin Epidemic, rally in Stark. How do families rally in Stark to fight this heroin epidemic?
We
What are
get
we
on
doing?
our motorcycles and we make a lot of noise.
That's pretty fun for a band geek.
Yeah. Oh, always. Making noise is fun. Well, and what we found when we first started going out and promoting our motorcycle run and talking to people was that they were looking for a way to be heard, but also wanted to protect their own privacy a little bit. People are still, there's a lot of reluctance to come right out and
Understandable.
say that
Yes.
this problem is in your home. We've made a lot of strides against the stigma issue surrounding addiction, but it is by no means a resolved issue.
Can we really resolve it
I don't
before
think so.
people come together? I mean, it will take people coming together and talking about it to resolve, yes?
Yes. And I will say Stark County, for at least the calendar year 2017, our overdose and death statistics related to opiates were down about 20%
That's
over
awesome.
the previous year. A solid 20%. I think the number was actually somewhere between 20 and 30, but I don't remember exactly. Whereas, as far as I am aware, everywhere else in the state is still climbing. So, yes, coming together and attacking this problem from all fronts. You know, we have families working together. We have groups that work with the addicts themselves. We have law enforcement. We have family services. We have people in the faith-based community, the health departments. All of these agencies have come together, treatment providers as well, on the opiate task force here in Stark County, and just really bringing all forces to bear from all sides of the problem.
I love our community. They have really rallied. It's been amazing. I think when a community is told you're like at the bottom of the whole country as far as this problem, well, at the top as far as the problem,
Exactly.
that was not good news. And we took it the way I think a community needs to. It's like, all right, let's grab this bull by the horns and get everybody together and figure out what to do. And
we're very fortunate to have people in our community like Judge Forshoni, who was one of course, the very first people to step up and say, but I think before even a lot of us knew how bad this problem was, he was out there. And we have Sheriff Meyer, who has attacked this problem without really any stigma whatsoever, which there is unfortunately still a lot of the criminal justice system that is stigma driven when it comes to issues like addiction. But we're very fortunate in Stark County that they're just much more open to trying different things.
yeah, this is not a time to get judgy.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we can all work together and figure it out. Do we know why? I mean, when you look at much larger cities than ours, how are we so high, ranked so high with this problem?
I don't know. I really don't have an answer as to why Ohio in particular is, I mean, we are, of course, one of the more populous states, but
who knows?
I don't know. That one I don't have an answer for.
Well, what we're going to work on is finding an answer on how to stop it and get better.
Yes.
So part of that is this fun motorcycle polka run taking place when and where?
It is Saturday, June 16th. We will take off from the Massillon Stadium Park on 19th Street, southeast in Massillon. Registration starts at 9 o'clock. First bike's out at 9:30. It is a staggered release run, so we release the bikes about every 10 or 15 minutes between 9:30 and 10:30. We will be stopping this year at Glamorgan Castle in Alliance, which is just very nice. Quaker Steak and Lube is our lunch sponsor again. They've been with us for 3 years now, so they will be providing lunch for the riders. Then we are going to the Ohio Military Veterans Park in Clinton, which is just always a fascinating place to visit, and they will be providing beverages for donations to support the park. Taggart's Ice Cream in Magnolia is the fourth stop, and they are also a returning sponsor. And then we finish up at the Stark County Fairgrounds, where we will have some live entertainment, some speakers, raffle baskets, 50-50 drawings. We will be featuring our motorcycle that we're raffling in conjunction with the Stark County Sheriff's Department. We have that portion of the event is open to the general public for $5 admission.
Even if you don't ride.
Even if you don't ride. And cars are also welcome to participate in the run as well. The day of registration fee is $25 for a single rider or car with one person, and then passengers are $5 a piece for cars. Or obviously there's only going to be one passenger on a motorcycle generally, although I have seen some sidecars.
No riding on the handlebars.
No. And all of those proceeds go to, at this point, continue our StarkHeroinEpidemic.org resource website, our heroin awareness signs, which you may see around the county, which list our overdose numbers, treatment numbers, and to fund our Father's Kids program, which is a new thing this year that we're very excited about.
Well, this makes it open to so many more people. I love the way you're doing this. I have to confess, I don't do motorcycles. My husband loves riding on it, but I would go along on polka runs in my little Miata. And that was a lot of fun. So you're encouraging that, if you're not a bike rider, bring your car. And
because there are so many people who have been affected by this problem that really are looking for a way to stand up and be counted and say, hey, this has been in my family as well. And so if you don't have a motorcycle, we still want you to stand and be counted and make some noise. And we are anticipating that this will also be proclaimed Heroin Awareness Day in Stark County. We did have a proclamation from several municipalities as well as the Stark County commissioners last year, and we are anticipating that they will probably do that for us
Wonderful.
again.
And you've picked a beautiful sightseeing tour. You're getting to see a lot of neat things. You're going to take care of everybody with food and so forth. And just have a really, really nice day.
It's a really good time. We get a lot of people who come back every year because we show them a good time. It is a sober run. We do get quite a few people that take advantage of the opportunity to bring their children on the back of the bike because we're not stopping at any bars. And we love to see that. We love to see the kids come on the run.
This is a family day.
It is a family day, absolutely.
Families Against the Heroin Epidemic Rally in Stark. It's the Father's Motorcycle Run and Community Event taking place Saturday, June 16th. We'll be back after these words. You're listening to Our Community.